Excited to. Hello, I am Moira Shepherd, the author of Love Your Way to Success, and I am all about helping you to develop the confidence that you need to succeed. It is wonderful to see you here today, and I'm so excited to take this time to support you in finding 3 simple ways to open to receive abundance. We like to keep them simpler, the better, and it struck me that there are some parallels here with abundance and with the cause of celebration today. So if you celebrate Good Friday, happy Good Friday. And if you celebrate Passover, happy Pesach to you. So glad to have you here. So why would you want to open to receive abundance? Oh, and if you are, if you're just here because it's Friday and you want to, loosen up a little bit and get ready for the weekend, that is okay. I'm right there with you. That is absolutely okay. So why would you want to open to receive abundance outside of the obvious, I want to be a millionaire, or I want to have an information empire? Well, when you open to abundance, it's just a softer and easier, less struggle-filled, more feminine, frankly, a more feminine way of manifesting the abundance that you want in your life, whether it's love, whether it's health, wealth, recognition, the opportunity to serve, whatever lights you up. So opening to receive allows you to open to receive the coming true of your dreams, open to receive the reaching of your goals and the rewards that come from that, open to receive the love that people have been wanting to give you, the help that people have been wanting to give you, open to receive the appreciation people have been wanting to give you. But if you're like most of the people here, you're a loving soul, and you're much more open to giving than you are to receiving. It's like the giving faucet is on and the receiving faucet is off. It's kind of on the blink here. And I think one of the reasons why it's so valuable to look at abundance through the lens of Good Friday and Passover is because all 3 of these are examples of unearned grace, things that are given to you because God loves you, not because of anything you've said or done, but because of who you are and because you are so much loved. So before we plunge into this, let me just tell you a little about myself. I'm a 4th-generation Californian. I live in Los Angeles, the city of angels, and I love old-time movies like Mrs. Miniver and Some Like It Hot. I don't have much use for anything made after like 1958. They're just, the older stuff is what I like better. What can I tell you? And let's talk about you. You are somebody who is wanting to make a difference in people's lives in some way through your creative gifts of writing, of music, of speaking, of giving sage advice, of sharing wisdom, of sparking insight. And that is so darling of you. That is wonderful of you. This is a room full of loving, giving people here. And I include in this all of you watching on the replay, as well as the ones who are here in the Zoom room. So you do have this commitment to service, this commitment to honoring the author within you, the artist within you, the creative muse within you, the divine spark that lives within you. And that is all wonderful. And I really honor you for it. At the same time, you may also have moments where you feel like nothing you say or do is really making a difference. Or you may feel shy or hesitant, or even like it's wrong to be paid for what you do, especially if it's spiritual or creative or fun. Somehow it's like it's okay to get paid for digging ditches, but not for helping somebody to change their life. What is up with that? What does that say about our values? Or you may simply feel kind of spooked by the idea of people looking at you, listening to you, reading the words that you've poured forth from your heart and soul. You may be feeling a little shy about that. Totally understandable. I'm a lifelong introvert. I totally get that. Don't look at me kind of thing. Absolutely. So what I would like you to know is that these are all expressions of a deep underlying belief in your own unworthiness. This is how unworthiness expresses itself in your life, in your mentality, in your choices. To my mind, the feeling of unworthiness, the belief in one's own unworthiness is really the only block to abundance. We can call it other things. We can call it procrastination, perfectionism. We can call it overwhelm. We can call it, I'm being humble before the eyes of God. You can call it, I don't want anybody to think I'm conceited, but it all comes down to a feeling or a belief in your unworthiness. And what I'm here to help you understand more deeply is how worthy you are and always have been. And two of the ways that this has been shown to us historically is in the instance of Good Friday. This is a celebration marking the incredible sacrifice of Jesus's own human life to save the souls of all who believed in him. To be given the gift of salvation, no matter what your sins are or were or will be in the future, to know that all is forgiven, that you are redeemed, that your soul is saved. Who could possibly be worthy of that? Probably not you, definitely not me, but somehow it's been given to you anyway. The gift of salvation, the gift of redemption for your sins, the gift of complete and unconditional forgiveness of all you have done or failed to do, because there are sins of omission as well as commission. And yet, because you are so loved, you are forgiven, your soul is saved. This is unearned grace at its finest, its most loving, its most beautiful. And as we look at Passover, this is the celebration of the saving of lives on the occasion when the angel of death passed over the house of Israel and all of its eldest sons were spared. What an incredible thing. This means that if this is what you celebrate, that your ancestors or someone you are related to in some way, on some level, their life has been spared. Whether they were a sinner or a saint, whether they were good or bad, whether they did a bunch of good things and only a few bad things, whether they were all good or all bad, their lives were saved. Their lives were saved. They were spared when everybody else around them was dying, when every other family was suffering. This is unearned grace at its most graceful, at its most gracious. And it was freely given. It is freely given. Abundance is a form of unearned grace also. It is something that is given to you, and worthiness is off the table as a consideration. Now, it can be kind of tempting to perhaps second guess your higher power. Like, if God really knew the whole story, I'd never be forgiven. Or to think that if God really knew just how bad you've been, just what terrible thoughts you've had, you never acted upon them, that any love or money or wealth or recognition, any blessing of any kind were ever given to you, it would be immediately snatched away because you don't really deserve it. Well, let's look at the flaw in the reasoning here. Do you really think that you know more about yourself than God knows more about you? Do you really think that anything you do is hidden from the eye of the divine, of the infinite? The divine knows all about you and loves you just the same. And one of the ways of expressing its love for you, in addition to the saving of souls, in addition to the saving of lives, is the bestowing of abundance upon you. Simply because you exist, simply because you are breathing in and out, simply because you are as God made you. You are as God made you. Think about that for a moment. Whatever you regard as a flaw, maybe it's less a flaw, but more like your judgment of it, that it's a flaw. If you feel like you've got some bad characteristics or some emotions that aren't too pretty, maybe it's your judgment that's making them seem bad rather than the emotions themselves. So it's worth considering, what if I looked at myself through the lens of unconditional love? What if I looked at myself with the eyes of someone who is capable of bestowing unearned grace upon me? So let's take a moment to feel into that. And would it be all right to call upon your higher power, not mine, but yours, the one you believe in, since it's the only one that'll work, and rightly so. Would it be all right for your higher power to show you what it feels like to be worthy of the love of your God? How to know that you are worthy of infinite love right now, whatever you've done, whatever you've failed to do. Would it be all right to show you that now in ways that make sense to you and your ancestors? If that's okay, please say yes out loud. Let's take this all the way down to the DNA, the root of the DNA, from the moment your first ancestor first became an individuated field of consciousness, all the way down. So you can come from a long line of people who feel worthy of the love of God, which makes it so much easier for you to do that now. So much easier to feel worthy of unconditional love, feel worthy of all the good God wants you to have. Would it be all right to show you why it's safe for you to be loved by God? Would it be all right to show you that you never have to pay for the love of God by doing something or giving something up, that it is freely given and will never be taken away? If that's okay, please agree in your heart or aloud, however you see fit. I'm feeling somebody really frightened of this love. It's making them nervous in their hearts. So let's look to this person. It's probably none of you in the Zoom room. It's probably somebody watching the replay, but they're still here in spirit. So I'm still feeling it. So let's take a moment to talk to this one that feels frightened by the love of God. They're experiencing it as a burden. Like, if I accept this love, I'm never going to be able to do anything fun again. I'm going to have to be a good person all the time. So those are legitimate concerns. I totally get that. So would it be all right to show you the truth about these ideas, that if you accept the love of God, you can never do anything bad or do anything wrong or ever make a mistake again? Let's show you the truth about that. You are loved anyway. However many mistakes or missteps or bad calls you make, that love can never, will never be taken away. It's only conditional love that comes at a price. God asks nothing of you. God just loves you. Would it be all right to show you what it feels like to recognize the difference between the love of your higher power and the love of your mother, which has elements of human love, which is often conditional? So with all due respect to God and with all due respect to your mother, would it be all right to show you what it feels like to recognize the difference between the love of God and the love of your mother? Both are very, very special in their own way. And yet if we measure one by the other, some mistaken assumptions may arise, like I have to keep earning this one's love and nothing I do is ever good enough. And that may be true for some others, but it's never true of God. And would it be all right to show you what it feels like to recognize the difference between the love of God and the love of your father, with all full respect to your father and to God? The ways they love you may be different. And having that discernment helps you to recognize that the love of your father is what it is. It's a reflection of his personality. Whereas the love of God is free of personality, is a pure, almost impersonal love, in the sense that it loves everybody all the time. It is never withdrawn. It is forever present in you and all around you. And showing you why you're worthy of that love, even if you never got that kind of love from your mother or father, why you still deserve it. Showing you how that came in and why that is in ways that make sense to you and all of the ancestors, all down the line of your mother, all down the line of your father. Woo, someone's taking this in deeply. Somebody really needed to hear this today. You're doing great. Excellent. Would it be all right to show you what it feels like to feel surrounded by God's love in every moment? The God of your understanding, if that's okay. Please agree in whatever way is right for you. What it feels like to feel safe and worthy of being surrounded by and filled with God's love at all times. What it feels like to feel safe and worthy of God's love, even though it's bigger and more glorious than you ever imagined. That you are still worthy of it, that you still deserve it. How can that be? Let your higher power show you. Well, I didn't expect this one to come in, so here it is. Would it be all right to show you who you are and how to live your life without withholding love from yourself? Showing you what you can do instead and helping you to do it now, if that's okay. Yes. Would it be all right to show you who you are and how to live your life without fighting yourself, without condemning yourself, without judging yourself, without making yourself wrong, and what you can do instead and helping you to do it now? Is that okay? Somebody is jumping up and down. It's just like, oh yeah, so ready for that. Yes, absolutely. Would it be all right to show you who you are and how to live your life, finding a way to have compassion and caring for even the parts of you that you're not so crazy about, the parts of you that you are judging to be wrong or bad or, meant to be hidden, never let anybody see that. Would it be all right to show you how to love those parts of yourself too? And why to love them? The short answer is because they need it most. Those are the parts of you that need love most of all. Yes? So let's shower them with love right now, human and divine, okay? Oh, so many of them are just weeping with gratitude. They've waited for this love all their lives, and here it is. Yay! Good Friday indeed. Excellent. Wow. Beautiful. So would it be all right to show your body, mind, heart, and soul how to process these realizations, these healings, these awarenesses, how to process them with ease and grace and joy in ways that are comfortable and pleasurable for your body? How to know you're still you, even though all this love is here now. Yes, it's still you, even though all this love is here in your heart, in your soul, in your brain, all around you. How fabulous is that? How abundant is that? Showing you what it feels like to feel normal, even though you are hyper aware of love in this moment. And showing you how to happily function and be effective in the world, get on with your day, cook whatever you were going to cook, make whatever you're going to make, write whatever you were going to write, video whatever you were going to video, whatever other tasks you have here today. Showing you how you can still have this hyper awareness of love in you and all around you, operating in the background, that just helps you to bring a little more love to everything you do today, while still getting done all you want or need or choose to get done. Very good. Let's just take a moment to bask in this love energy. Beautiful. You're doing great. Thank you so much. So this is the meditation and discussion portion of this starting to draw to a close. And I still want to bring you 3 simple ways to open to receive abundance in addition to what we have here, but things that are, more doable, more here and now, more having to do with your present day life. So let's start with method number 1. I would like you to get up out of your chair and shake it up. Waggle your hips, roll your shoulders, clap your hands, make some noise. Just make sure to mute yourself, please. So let's just get up for a moment and move it around. That's right. Waking up the body, waking up the muscles, waking up the hips. Waking up the brain. Yeah, we can still have all of this love inside of us and still be able to. Yes, exactly. And let's take a moment to give the scalp a lovely little massage, because it's astounding how much tension we carry in the muscles of our head. So just a gentle fingertip massage. Whew. Oh yeah, what a beautiful, gentle way to wake up, feel loved, feel cared about. Fantastic. Very good. Now let's have a little breathing to really center in ourselves, center in our bodies. We're going to do 3 deep breaths. And on the inhale, I'd like you to be thinking God is, or source is, whatever you call your higher power. And as you breathe out, be thinking, I am. So just do the breaths as comfortably as deep for you, as deep as is comfortable for you. So breathing in once, breathing in, God is. And breathing out, I am. Breathing in, God is. Breathing out, I am. One more time, breathing in, God is. And breathing out, I am. Very good. Very good. Now for our second way to open more easily to receive abundance. I don't know if you saw in your email, but in the reminders for the hour before and 15 minutes before, I asked you to put something pretty near your seating area where you're watching this. So if you have that, please have it handy to look at now. And if you don't, I have the little mermaid, Ariel. This is a little Christmas tree ornament my sister gave me. And I put her by my computer to remind me to keep things easy and fun, to help me stay in flow. She was so pretty. I just like having her nearby. So you can look at Ariel, or you can look at the object of beauty that appeals to you. I invite you to just take a moment to look at this beautiful object, or the person in the picture, if that's what you're looking at. And just let your eyes rest upon its graceful lines. Let your eyes rejoice in its colors. If it's reflecting light off of something, notice how that makes it look more sparkly or shiny. Yeah, just the beauty, the color, the grace, the light. This is something that you have in your home, or that you can have in your home, and it's with you every day. And unless you made it yourself, this beauty was made for your pleasure by someone very gifted and loving. It was made for you by God. It was made for you by nature. It was made for you by an artist with a simple wish to give you delight, to give you joy, which is a form of abundance. So here you are, receiving abundance in your very own home that you can see with your very own eyes. And did it ever cross your mind to wonder for a second, am I worthy of this beauty? Am I worthy of this beautiful thing? You just enjoyed it. You can open to enjoy abundance with the same purity of heart, with the same simple appreciation and gratitude for something beautiful that someone somewhere made for your delight. And this is just one of many examples of the abundance that is all around you, if only you have the eyes to see. I read a wonderful quote from James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, yesterday. I get his newsletter. And the quote was something along the lines of, for people who feel entitled, their life is full of curses and burdens. But for people who feel appreciative, they are surrounded by blessings. So I'm here to help you heighten your awareness of how blessed you are right now, how much abundance you have right now. You've got a place to sit, you've got a computer, you've got internet, you probably have food in the refrigerator, you've got a roof over your head. And there are millions of people all over the world who look upon these as riches beyond measure, beyond their wildest dreams. And they are here right now, and they are yours, and they are abundance. And I invite you to recognize them as such. This is how you can become more aware of abundance all around you, and never with an eye toward, I ought to feel grateful, because that brings in should, that brings in conditionality, that brings in, well, I ought to feel this way. So there you are, shaming yourself, judging yourself for not being appreciated. And I really invite you to let go of all of that and simply see with clear eyes the hyper awareness of love that's still running in the background with you and will run with you in your background for, as long as you like, for the rest of the day or the rest of your life or anything in between. This is see with the eyes of love, to see with the eyes of appreciation, rather than through the eyes of entitlement, which just creates suffering, whereas appreciation creates joy and invites in more abundance on the energetic level, because there's nothing so magnetic to abundance as gratitude and appreciation. So we're getting toward the end here. And so I invite, let's invite in higher power to inspire us to discover what is a third step we can take, something that we can do to create more abundance with less effort in our day-to-day life right now. Let's see what comes through. Just be yourself, because you are worthy and wonderful and amazing. And the more you just allow yourself to be as you are, express as you are, more in appreciation of yourself, less at war with yourself, more in thankfulness for all the gifts God has given you. My goodness, this is a room full of talented people, really gifted, loving, generous, joyful people. How fortunate we are to be blessed in these gifts. So just be yourself. That's the simplest way to share them. Just be who you are. And I'm hearing kind of at the back door of awareness. Would it be all right to heighten your awareness of your infinite innocence, that whatever you may have done, whatever you may have failed to do, forgotten to do, neglected to do, didn't know to do, please know that that has never affected your fundamental innocence as a soul and as a human for a single moment. So it'll be all right to show you why it's safe for you to recognize your innocence now. Fundamental innocence that makes even forgiveness unnecessary. because you are truly innocent and always have been. There is a part of you that has never been touched by what you may regard as sin in yourself or anybody else. There is a part of you that is forever inviolate, forever pure. And this is the truth of you. Would you like to know what it feels like to recognize the truth of this in you now? The truth of your innocence? Yes? When you truly understand how innocent you are, abundance flies to you, because you're doing nothing to push it away through unforgiveness, resentment against yourself or others, through all the ways that we fight off abundance out of a feeling of unworthiness. And when you recognize that you are fundamentally innocent and always have been and always will be, the question of unworthiness itself or worthiness just drops away. It becomes a non-issue. You are simply who you are. You have done what you have done because it was the best you could do in the moment, and nobody, even God, can ask more of you than that. So on this Good Friday, I invite you to let yourself off the hook. I invite you to embrace all of the grace, earned or unearned, that comes your way today or any other day. Because you do deserve it. You are loved beyond imagining. I love you so much right now. And I'm so pleased to have spent this time with you. Thank you for taking some of your precious time out of your day to be with me, to watch this later, however you're experiencing this. I'm so honored and blessed to have you in my life. Thank you so much for being here. Love and blessings to you all. Mwah! Please feel free to unmute yourself if you like. And if that's an option, whatever
Laura?
that is. Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, it's Wilma again, off speakerphone. I just wanted to share with you, you had done an abundance clearing on me way back when you first started out. And there's been something in me that, this is not a negative against you, this is me feeling that there's been something in me that's blocking my flow of receiving abundance, especially in the form of money. So I'm so happy that I was actually being able to be on live for the call, because it's always my intention to be live. And then sometimes I'll get called in to take somebody else's shift, so I have to listen to the recording. So today, when I was able to actually be on live with you, there was a portion where you said, oh, I have to do this. And you called in like someone withholding love from yourself. I truly felt that was, you were picking up on my energy. And I'm so grateful, because at the end of the call now, I'm feeling as if just being here and listening to you and being in the energy, I feel like I've received that opening to abundance. And I feel so much energy in my crown chakra right now. It just feels as if I had to be on the call live, and whatever you were doing, you were picking up on my energy. And I can't wait to see what is opening in front of me, because it feels as if something is. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
It is. You are so welcome, Wilma. I am so thankful. Thank you for sharing your experience. And I'm so glad that this is helping you to open up to love and abundance in all of its forms in another way, on another level. You've made my day. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
You're so welcome, my dear. Would anybody else like to share anything?
I'd just like to say thank you, Maura. Your gentle, loving presentation on Good Friday was so very fitting and so touched my soul. And you have blessed me and all of us beyond measure. Thank you.
Sue, thank you so much. I so appreciate you. I so appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being here and joining in. And I wish you a wonderful Good Friday. Happy Pesach. Happy day. Happy weekend.
You as well, to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my dears. Until we meet again. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thanks, PJ.